guys, it's still Elaine, and today I'm going to be telling you all about my YouTube filming setup. I'm often asked what I use for my camera, my lens, my lighting, and my sound, so today I'm going to be sharing all of that with you. Acquiring my ideal YouTube filming setup did take a couple of years of saving up some money as well as some trial and error in order to get the perfect look that I wanted. But I'm currently 100% satisfied with what I have at this moment. All of the equipment that I mentioned in this video will be linked in the description box down below. The video camera that I use, which I am filming on right now, is called a Canon 70D. I chose the Canon 70D for several reasons, one of them being that it had super high reviews on Amazon, which always gets me, but in addition, I saw that a lot of other YouTubers were using the Canon 70D, which piqued my interest. Once I looked into it a little more, I saw that it has a flip-out screen, which is wonderful for people like me who are a one-person production team. So basically, I need to be able to see myself. Right now, I'm looking at the flip screen. Right now, I'm looking at the lens, flip screen, lens, and I need to be able to look at the flip screen to make sure that I am in the frame, and even just to make sure that it's recording at all times. Now, the main reason that I got the Canon 70D was for its autofocus feature during video recording. So what that means is if I am filming myself as I'm doing right now, if I move around, which I tend to do sometimes, the camera will actually autofocus on my face as I'm moving around. It can detect my face and follow it along. It's not 100% accurate, but it's good enough for me. Moving on to lens. Something that was important to me and the look that I was going for was to have a semi-blurry background. As you can probably tell, the ukulele, guitar, and the pillows, and everything in the background isn't quite as sharp or in focus or well lit as my face. Sadly, the camera itself, the body of the camera, the Canon 70D, doesn't create the blurry background on its own. The blurry background primarily comes from whatever lens I'm using. So if you didn't already know, with a lot of DSLRs, you can typically buy the body separate from the lens, so that way you can customize the look you're going for. I chose the Canon 70D because of that autofocus feature and the flip out screen, and then I chose the Sigma Art 1.8 lens in order to get that blurry background effect. Through my research, I learned that the lower the aperture, the blurrier the background. The Sigma Art lens had a 1.8 aperture, that's why it's called the Sigma Art 1.8 lens, which is why I'm able to get the things behind me a little more out of focus than my face. Next, we'll talk about my SD card. So whenever you have a camera, you need an SD card to go inside of it, which is going to be what captures all of the footage that goes into your camera. After you film, you take that SD card out, put it into your computer, and then all of the footage can then be downloaded onto your computer. Because I've been known to film anywhere from 5 to 12 videos in one day, it's necessary for me to have a very large SD card. Now, I don't mean large in size physically, but I mean large as in the amount that it can hold. For that reason, I chose the SanDisk Extreme 64GB SD card. This allows me to film everything that I need in one full day of filming without having to stop to empty the card and then erase it to start over again. Moving on to audio. Although my camera does have built-in audio, it's not as professional sounding as I would like for it to be, so I did purchase an external microphone, which I then attached to the top of my camera, and that's what I'm using right now. It's what you're hearing my voice come through, and it's called the Shure VP83. I'm very happy with the way my Shure VP83 sounds. I use this microphone whenever I record my tutorials and my simple covers. However, whenever I do my more produced multi-instrument covers, I will use a different audio setup, which I actually go over in my audio recording setup. Now, filming would definitely be a challenge without my trusty tripod. Actually, for the longest time, I had a very cheap $20 tripod that I got off of Amazon, and while it did get the job done, it did start to cause me a lot of problems. So only a few months ago did I upgrade to the one that I have now, and it has made a world of a difference in my filming. The camera and the lens that I use are actually very heavy duty, and the tripod that I had before was very lightweight. So what would happen is I would put my camera on top of my tripod, and then I would have to find something to hold the tripod in place so it didn't tip over. A few months ago, I finally upgraded to the BONFOTO B690 aluminum portable heavy duty tripod. I love this tripod. It's great. It doesn't move. I can put my camera on it and it stays still. It's wonderful. Moving on to one of the most crucial parts of my filming setup, lighting. Now, while I do prefer to use natural lighting, I can't because it's just not consistent. So what will happen is if I film with only natural lighting, it might look great in the beginning, but an hour into filming, maybe the sun is going behind the clouds, or maybe it's setting, and then the lighting starts to shift throughout the video. However, I didn't want to give it up completely, so I do have my windows open, but I also use 2 softboxes on either side of my face just to keep it a little more consistent looking. So I have a light here, a light here. A chair is usually here in front of the tripod. I chose to go with the most budget-friendly softboxes I could find at this time, which are called the LimoStudio 700W softbox lights. I think they're great starter lights, I'm happy with the quality, and maybe later down the road I'll invest in a little bit more higher quality lights. Once everything is captured for my videos and I'm done filming, I then take my SD card, put it into my computer, and get to editing. I feel like it's worth mentioning what computer I use because I did buy it specifically for video editing. My computer is an Apple iMac 5K desktop with 27-inch Retina and 16GB memory. Before purchasing this computer, I did a ton of research and learned that this specific computer was great for processing high-quality video files. Again, if you would like to read reviews or ratings on any of these products, they're all on Amazon, and I will put links to them in the description box down below. Until next time, remember to play, write, and spread the light.
Joy comes for free, oh, it's living inside of me, dancing through my